Namaskar, good morning, Ram Ram. Welcome to your own channel AC Astro. We are here with a quick video about a weekly horoscope week starting from today when we are in the Sutak energy of the eclipse. What's there for the all 12 signs? Let's welcome Akashji from Calgary, Canada. Namaskar, Ram Ram Akashji.
Namaskar, Rohitji, Ram Ram. Thank you. So yes, the eclipse energy is almost now over because 7th of September till 13th of September we are doing this horoscope for. Let's start with Aries. Moon is entering into Pisces after the eclipse. Now Moon is going and meeting Saturn here with those people who are going through Sarasati right now, or the Aries Moon people also, Aries and all the Pisces Moon people also. They will feel a little bit of heavy energy during this time. Those people who are doing traveling now can travel, but they may still have some delays because of the travel, because of Moon in the 12th house. Now, sometimes when fourth house Lord is in the 12th house in transit, and if you're going through Moon Mahadasha Antradasha, there is possibility of expenses on a very large scale, sudden expenses which you never planned for. So you should be ready for this. This week, Moon in the 12th house can also create open doors for all the people who are thinking of going to a foreign country. Since it is getting aspected by Mars, here some people may also gain from a foreign country. So it is a very, very nice time. Very mixed results for those people who are going through the Moon Mahadasha, and while those people are not going through the Moon Mahadasha. So let's hope for the best. Moon enters into Aries here. Kendra Lord in the Kendra sitting 10th from itself. That means some new good karma related to the home you can do. Also, because Pitra Paksh, that means the time for honoring your ancestors is going on right now. So this is a very beautiful time to do the karma related to your ancestors. So do something very powerful time when Moon, the Kendra Lord, is in the Kendra. Now, here also it receives the eighth aspect of Mars. That means from your workplace, you can still get some kind of great benefit during this time. Moon is going to entering into the exaltation. So before Moon enters into exaltation and the solar eclipse energy is building, so Moon is going to be very, very extremely favorable after this, after the lunar eclipse that has already happened. So this is a week where Moon is very, very extremely favorable for all the people. Now, Moon enters into exaltation on 12th of September. Here it is entering into the sign of wealth, money. Also aspecting the 8th house here, which is the house that is related to your investments. So it is a good time to do investments, but not a good time for any kind of legal matters, because what has happened is that the the aspect on the 8th house can create some challenges or some problems related to legal matters, as 8th house is third from the 6th. So that is the problem. On the other hand, it's a very good time for investments and very good time to regain some old money that you are looking for. So beautiful exaltation of Moon. Family life becomes very much better because second house also the house of family, and also if you are expecting some status improvement, very good. Those who are trying to sell a property, it is not a very good time for Pitra Paksh to sell or buy a property. But if there is a absolute need here, then you may find profit in those areas also, because the fourth house lord is sitting 11th from itself, so gains happen later this week. Mars is also doing a transit into the sign of Libra. Now 13th it will do a transit on Libra and not leave Moon. Again, the eighth aspect will come on Moon here only. So honestly, the aspect is so continued towards Moon that the Mahalakshmi yoga is happening now here. Again, Mars being the Kendra Lord is in the Kendra, but in a place where, if you talk very depth of astrology, here is where Saturn gets the directional strength. And Mars and Saturn are not very good friends. Same way, Mars and Venus are not very good friends. So the heaviness comes on the area related to relationship during this time. It's very good for personality, your personality development, your outward, you being very, very powerful in terms of your personality and attitude, but it can create some kind of heavy energy in the seventh house that is related to your spouse or business partners. So try to be as cool as possible. Since Mars is sitting 12th from the 8th house, here you can see some kind of expenses also happening related to either in-laws, either your spouse also on a very, very much side. Some expenses can be happening here. So Take care. We'll be making a complete video about Mars entering into Libra, which will give you more and more idea about this time with all the aspects of Mars, because an exalted aspect of Mars is now activated in the 10th house, which means career development, career growth in a very, very awesome way. So we will talk about it in the big video. Do subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a great, wonderful week. 28th of September onwards, Rohit is starting beautiful, amazing astrology classes. For that, all the details are on the screen. Taurus. So now Moon is entering into Pisces here. Now, if you look, the energy of the eclipse has just ended, not ended, but yes, now completely, it is diminishing. But Moon is meeting the sign of Saturn here. Third house Lord in the 11th house with Saturn causes a Visha Yoga. Visha Yoga means poisonous yoga in the area of your social circle. So, this is a very important time not to make any major commitment or comments in your social media. This can create a little bit of challenge around you, because after that Moon is going to the 12th house, so it can create some losses, some challenges in your images during this time. But a very great time to do some charity work, to go into a public event. If there is any event that is related to fundraising, etc., this is a good time. Moon is entering into the 12th house. This also means that spiritually it's a very, very beautiful time, but long distance travel can suddenly happen because the third house Lord has gone to the 12th house. Sometimes long distance travel for a very short period, like you going to a foreign country for a week and coming back. That is what is exactly happening. So expenses will be on the rise. Great thing about this is that Moon is entering into an exalted position now very, very soon. So whatever is happening, it will be in your favor only. So somewhere Moon is supporting you as much as possible. As Moon enters into exaltation on 12th of September, this is the time that the third house Lord is sitting 11th from itself. So some great communication is coming related to your workplace, related to your travel, related to something with some skill development that you were doing. Finally you will see that, okay, I found the final answer for my skill development. And also your personality, this is a time of self grooming also, so get ready, because Moon is aspecting the seventh house and the house of Mars. Here we have to be very careful. It's a debilitated aspect, but what happens in such cases is that sometimes emotional turbulence in the area of your relationship happens, which can create a little bit of you know discomfort in relationship pattern, either in business relationship, either in your personal relationship. So we want to be careful in that area of life. Mangal Devta, Mars, is entering into the sign of Libra. Now, here what is happening is that Mangal is the 12th house lord. Entering here makes a Viprit Raj Yoga. Whenever 6, 8, and 12 lord, they will change their places, or they will take sixth house in the eighth, eighth house in sixth. This is Viprit Raj Yoga. That means some kind of challenges may happen in the early stage, but later the challenges will be your victory. You will have victory over those challenges. Now, here the most challenge area which I see is going to be the seventh house. The seventh house is exactly the sixth house is exactly 12th from the seventh house. So some losses in partnership, sometimes challenges in partnership, sometimes those who are struggling to get divorces and stuff like that, they may have a little bit of extra pain during this time. But remember, you're very powerful in any situation. The victory is yours. Mars coming to the sixth house, the Dushtana, will create victory like position for all the people. That's not all. Mars is looking at the 12th house. So workplace wise, you can go to a foreign country. Mars is looking at the ninth house. Higher education activates. Mars is looking at the ascendant. So many things. We'll be making a big video on Mars. We're entering into Libra with a very beautiful story that I have. And we will be able to then, give you more clear guidance if you're going through Mars Mahadasha Antardasha. All the best, guys. Have a wonderful week and see you very soon. 20th of September onwards, Rohit is starting the astrology classes. For that, the number is on the screen. All the best. Gemini ascendant. So now Moon is entering into Pisces here. If you look at Moon here, Moon is the second house lord, goes to the 10th house, but makes a Visha Yoga. It has just come out of an eclipse, complete lunar eclipse. Now here, Moon and Saturn in the Kendra, secondly a Maraka lord in the Kendra, is a little bit there are two things. There is rewarding also, it is challenging also. Rewarding because it is in Kendra, and here it gets great directional strength. But on the other hand, Mars with Saturn and getting aspect of Mars to two malefics, absolutely looking at the moon right now, can create a little bit of emotional turbulence in your workplace. So not a very great time to have workplace rift or fights. Anyways, we are going through the Shraddha, the Pitra Paksha. So in this situation, it is more time for service rather than for some kind of rift fight between your colleagues in your workplace, stuff like that. Because emotionally, when Moon is with Saturn, it does not react very well. Now, one great thing here is that second house lord in the 10th house. That means if there is any money related problems or money related justice that you're supposed to receive, you may receive during this week, and which is going to be very, very favorable, very, very nice for you. Moon enters into the sign of Aries now. Here it gets the eighth aspect of Mars as well, because this is the house of Mars. So Mahalakshmi Yoga is at very active state. Socially, second house lord is also in the 11th house. So socially, this is a very great time. You get something, you gain something. There is possibility of your social people or social circle or very, very immediate colleagues trying to come and help you for some reason or the other. So be very kind to them as well. Now Moon here is getting into very, very powerful situation of an exaltation in the 12th house. Now this is also a very beautiful period, because I know this is a Dushtana, it's in the 12th house getting exalted, but it is a beautiful time when Moon is in power. After this eclipse, Moon is now gaining a lot of strength, but very soon solar eclipse is going to happen. But anyways, Moon gaining a lot of power here brings to another situation, and that situation is foreign travel. Those who have been waiting for foreign travel, those who have been trying to struggling for foreign travel, will see great options here. Expenses can be on the rise, but it will be related to your family. Sometimes this expenses can be related to you doing more savings for you. Your my I have like $2,000 in my account, I just put 1,000 away. You may feel that expenses happen, but it is actually for the savings. So that's a beautiful time. Only health wise, we want to be very careful with waterborne diseases, because Moon is looking at the sixth house, and that's a water sign where it is putting a debilitated aspect. So it can create a little bit of challenge related to health. So stay hydrated and be very powerful. Mars finally comes to the fifth house here. Now, Mars coming to the fifth house is putting a direct aspect on the 11th house. That means Mars in Libra is putting aspect on the 11th house. Some gains from your what do you say? Uh, Stock market, share market, some speculative gains are coming. In fact, this is the time that your debt destroys. See, the sixth house lord is 12th from itself. That means losses to enemies. Your enemies may have losses. You may have some destruction of your debt. But sometimes health wise, we want to be more careful. See, health wise is only this challenge of Mars. Mars is putting an aspect on the eighth house. Fifth house and eighth house are having a combination, which creates a very, very great yoga for getting amazing speculative gain. For more details, we'll be making a Mars video, which will give you more and more idea about how this Mars is going to react for you. So, all the very best. Have a great, wonderful week. 20th of September onwards, Rohit is starting this beautiful astrology classes. For this, everyone is welcome. The details are on the screen. Cancer ascendant. Now here, Rohiji, Moon is entering into the sign of Pisces, into the ninth house for them. Lagna Lord in the ninth house, beauty. But Lagna Lord in the ninth house with Saturn, little bit of challenge. Now challenge is that Saturn makes Moon very, very vulnerable when it comes to the results or the emotional level that Moon has, because Saturn is a very practical planet. When Saturn and Moon come together, the energies say that practically take a decision, not emotionally. And Moon says, no, I will take only emotional decisions. And that can create some challenges when it comes to your mentors, your gurus. Now, this is a very beautiful time which is related to your Pitra Paksh. Pitra Paksh means where you are honoring your ancestors. Now, here, this is the place of your Pitras. Very, very great time to honor your Pitras, to give, lot of you join hands in front of your pitras or do some tarpan related to your pitras. This is the time that especially your grandparents, because Saturn is a very very old planet. Now during this time, if you do grandparents tarpan or do some donations in their name, it is going to be very very amazing for you. But sometimes in the ninth house, philosophical losses because of philosophical fights happen. So you have to be very careful in not arguing over religion, over philosophy and stuff like that. Just chill during this time. Later, moon will enter into the 10th house. This is the good placement of moon. Lagna lord in the 10th house gives professional elevation, and professional elevation can be related to you showing an extreme power, extreme emotional, what you say, involvement in your work, which will be coming into the eyes of people, and they may really honor it, that yes, you are doing something very powerful and you deserve some gains. And that is because moon will enter into the 11th house of your gains and become exalted here, getting a getting a partial aspect of Mars. But the second day, as Mars enters into the sign of Libra, there is this Mahalakshmi Yoga created where Mars is putting the eighth aspect to sudden gains from your social circle. But sometimes, if your moon is very aggressive in your birth chart, then can be sudden emotional challenges in your social circle. So it depends on your personal placement as well, not only on the transits. But such a beautiful yoga here that moon is now exalted and very soon going to be meeting Jupiter. It is going to be very powerful, then meeting Venus, then going into in the eclipse energy is building, right? So that is what is happening now. With moon in the 11th house, you can expect some very great gains, social gains, as well as those who are expecting some recognition will also get recognition from their workplace. Another thing with Mars coming into the Kendra Lord, the Yoga Karaka coming to the Kendra is a very beautiful time. See, ideally during this time, no property transactions should be done because it is Pitra Paksh, so it is better to avoid and do it after the Pitra Paksh. But I suggest that this is the time that if there is any talks that you want to start, just start the talks so that you can finalize a little bit later after 22nd of September. Those who are struggling related to, what you say, their debts, they will see great. Struggling related to finding work, they will also see very very great time. In fact, you have done a lot of hard work during the past, because of Mars putting two aspects on the Kendra, sitting in the Kendra, looking at the 7th house, looking at the 10th house, will bring a lot of professional elevation. So all the very best. We are going to make a very big video on the Mars very soon and post it so that you get clear idea about how Mars is going to be reacting for all those people who are going through Mars Mahadasha, Antardasha, Pratyantardasha, Sukshmadasha, Pranadasha. All the best. Have a great time and see you next week. 20th of September onwards, Rohiji starting beautiful astrology classes. For this, everyone is welcome. All the best. Leo ascendant. Now, Moon is entering into the sign of Pisces, into the 8th house, causing a Vipreet Raja Yoga, but it is meeting Saturn here. Those people who are in Sarisati may feel this energy very intense because Saturn and Moon are together in transit. But on the other hand, you will see that Moon and Saturn together can create emotional upheaval and spiritual exploration, because 12th house lord is in the 8th house. Such people explore spirituality during this, as such people go into deep research during this time. But the research can be poisonous as well because Saturn and Moon are together. So make sure that you're researching on the right topic. Mars is aspecting Moon, Saturn is with Moon. There are two malefics who are, taking care of Moon in the 8th house. Not a very great placement for such a benefic planet like Moon to be coming here. So be very careful about how you research, what you research, and don't come to conclusions very, very quickly. Try to give more time. Between 8th and 10th of September, no big claims should be done unless and until you are in a medical field. In medical field, yes, this is the time that your research really stands out, because in this place is the place of getting Viprit solution in Viprit condition. That means solution in very harsh conditions. That is the time going on. Later, Moon will enter into the sign of Aries. If you look here, the 12th house lord and the 9th house are making a combination. Foreign travel is on the cards. GMC, such a placement where I will be traveling to India on 15th of September, and see Moon is exactly in the 9th house and my 12th house lord is in the 9th house. I'm going through the Moon Mahadasha and Mars Antardasha. Mars on 13th is getting into the into the third house. So I don't know about anyone else, but it is going exactly according to my plan. And I never planned this because of the planetary transit, but it was just that September 15th I will be going to India. Now, if you see here, Rohitji, Moon is entering into the ninth house. This is the ninth house, is that house of your blessings. What a beautiful time. Pitra Paksh. Moon is entering into this sign. Do Pitra sadhana, something to do with donation related to Pitra, some kind of, you know, some, if you're, especially this is the energy of father. If unfortunately your father is no longer here, this is the time that you need to do tarpan, or do need to do donations related in the name of your father, so that they can get very peaceful afterlife. Ninth house moon can also create, long distance travel. Those people who are waiting for foreign settlement or foreign travel, the things may open up for them. Then moon gets into the exalted place. 12th house lord exalted means lot of gains from a foreign country. Some very good news from a distant place is coming, and this would be very good for career also, very good for your what you say, your money also, because this is a earth house related to earth, money. So some kind of great news related to wealth is coming. Your status goes up in your workplace. And later Mars is going to the third house. Now see, ninth house lord in the third house, that long distance travel for a short period of time. That is what exactly I was trying to tell you, Rohitji. I'm going to India for 1 month, and see, this is how the Mars is reacting in the third house. The ninth, and I'm going through Mars and Moon Mahadasha. So why not? This is how happens. And this tickets were booked 20 days before this time right now. So just imagine that planets coming later, but they will manifest things whenever they are in their Sukshma Dasha and Prana Dasha. So that you take the right action. I am coming, I will do my stuff when I am there. So that's how it happens. But yes, Mars in the third house, your efforts, your courage will be very, very extremely powerful. Those who are facing a lot of challenges related to their home and family life, those who are having a lot of trouble or enemies in your home, or in your immediate family surrounding, you will see great victory in those areas. In fact, one thing you have to be careful, and third house is the house related to your neck, related to your back, related to your ears, shoulders. So in these places you have to be careful. Don't lift too much weight. There can be sudden shoulder freezes. So you have to be careful, because Mars is a malefic, and here in the third house, these kind of areas and muscles, etc., can get affected, because Mars rules the muscles, etc. Puts an exalted aspect on the sixth house now. Very powerful aspect of Mars, which can remove lot of enemies, lot of obstacles. So a big video on Mars is coming, so do subscribe so that you can wait for it, listen for it. All the best. Have a great week. We will talk more detail about Mars in the next video. Thank you. 20th of September onwards, Rohit starting beautiful astrology classes. The number is on the screen. So do, join and have a lot of fun. All the best. Virgo ascendant. So Moon is entering into Pisces here. If you see Moon, 11th house lord in the 7th house, that means gains through partnership. But sometimes it is getting conjunct with Saturn. Mars is giving very, very powerful aspect to Moon, but it is getting conjunct with Saturn. Those people who are going to Sari Sati may be more careful when it comes to their relationships or signing any contracts. Ideally, it is said that during the Pitru Paksh, which is happening from 7th till 21, no new work, no new contracts, no auspicious arrangement should be done. But if it is done in certain circumstances where you cannot avoid, you have to be extremely careful about taking any decisions related to your signature, related to signing contracts, related to, business deals. Moon is a very, very emotional planet. It will take always a decision emotionally, and Saturn does not like it. Saturn says, no, take practical, don't take emotional decisions. And this is why these both do not go together very well. And this is the seventh house, so be very careful when it comes to your relationship pattern. You may feel a little bit of extra overwhelmed here. So sorry for this, but what can I do? This is how it is supposed to be. But some gains related to, partnership in the past, if it has been done, may also come during this time. So beautiful time for that. Moon enters into the eighth house. Now here, if you see, Moon is sitting exactly, the 11th house lord in the 8th house. So sudden ups and downs in your social circle. But here moon is receiving an aspect of Mars. So suddenly, inheritance wise, money wise, shared resources wise, you may see some kind of gains happening. And because of the research done during this time, larger gains can happen, because after this beautiful transit of moon, it will enter into the best transit ever after the eclipse, and that is entering into the sign of Taurus, being exalted, being so powerful, luminous in the ninth house, especially because it is receiving, not receiving, it is absolutely 11th from the 11th house. This is a very big yoga where you are supposed to receive something very great related from your social circle, and your destiny will be working for you. Higher education wise, if this you're doing education, this is going to activate. If there is anything, in fact, this is the house of Pitras. Ninth house is the house of your lineage. So this is the time that you should be very much focused towards doing Pitra Tarpan. That means for your ancestors, do some kind of activity, donation in their name, and take their blessings during this time. What a very, very great time. This is a very beautiful moon in the ninth house. Later, Mars will enter into the second house and put the eighth aspect on moon again. So this is again a Mahalakshmi Yoga happening in the ninth house, happening in the Dharma Trikon. So something very beautiful is going to happen when it comes to money. Now, Mars here is the eighth house lord, going into the second house of wealth. If there is any dispute going on in the wealth area related to you, your family, related to inheritance, shared resources, with your siblings, some fighting, now victory is yours. That is what is seen, because the lord of the third house is sitting 12th from itself, so it can give losses to the people or the enemies who are trying to create trouble for you. Mars is putting an aspect on the fifth house with the exalted aspect from the second house. This means that gains in social circle, gains in what do you say, your share and stock market is going to happen. So if you are in that game, something very beautiful is cooking for you starting this week. All the best. I am going to be making a very detailed video about Mars. So do subscribe so that later you can understand, and then we can go very, very well about how to navigate this Mars during this transit. Because it is getting into some nakshatras as well. So we will be talking about that also, especially Swati Nakshatra. All the best. 28th September onwards, we are doing astrology course, full 1 year course. So for that, number is on the screen. Do join. It's in Hindi, so respectively. Libra ascendant. So moon is entering into the sign of Pisces. Now look at moon here. 10th house lord in the 6th house of daily work and routine with Saturn may create a little bit of upheaval in the side related to your workplace. In the daily routine, somewhere feel lazy, health wise some problem, challenges, sometimes food poisoning can be a matter here during this week. Now this week, moon is also going to be getting aspected by Saturn, aspected by Mars in the 6th house, which means that emotional win over your enemies may happen, which is very favorable. And this should happen because sometimes you cannot always be very rude or with any action mode only for your enemies. You have to emotionally also win them. So this time emotionally you win them. But health wise, we want to be more careful, because moon again, the Kendra lord, 10th lord going 10th from itself. This is the time that moon is in very powerful position, getting the eighth aspect of Mars also here. But what happens in such cases is that because Mars is aspecting the seventh house, its own sign, it can create some dominance over your partners. So partner dominance should be avoided, but work dominance should be now treated very well, because the 10th house lord is sitting 10th from itself. This is the time of promotion, the time of getting some recognition, some gains. So be very open to receiving something very powerful. If you're trying to sign any contracts and all, this is a good time. But because of Pitra Paksh, no new work should be started. Only after 22nd of September is when we will start new work, auspicious work, like registering a company, doing a marriage, doing a partnership deed. If it can be avoided till 22nd, it has to be avoided. Moon enters into exaltation here. 10th house lord 11th from itself. Now again you suddenly get some gains through your workplace. This is also possible time where you get a little bit of those who are having challenges in doing research, or those who are having challenges in finding out that point of their life which can give them some really good gains, or that ideas. This is the time moon is in very deep thoughts, in the 8th house. Ideas are going to be coming left, right, and center. So make the use of this time and do lot of extreme research so that you can become very powerful. Now, the Maraka Lord comes to the Kendra. Mars is the second and the seventh house Lord. That means it's a Maraka. Here, Mars is putting an aspect on the fourth house, seventh house, and the eighth house. So, Moon is receiving the eighth aspect of Mars again. Inheritance wise, also, if shared resources, but if you're fighting something, Mars is going to make sure you get justice during this time. So, that is beautiful. But on the other hand, Mars in the Kendra, looking at the Kendra, especially the seventh house, gives lot of power and courage to partnerships. Very beautiful time for partnerships, very beautiful time for, this whole Mars is going to be here for a while. And after the 22nd September mark, when the Pitra Paksh ends, very good time to get into property dealings. Those who are struggling in their property related stuff, those who are struggling in problems related to their court cases, etc., related to land property, they may find some great insights and success during this period when Mars is in Libra. Now, somewhere Mars in Libra does not go with the energy of the second house. So, some losses or some dispute or some fights in family can happen over your verbal matter. Speech wise, you will be very harsh. So, be very careful during that time. We'll be making a big video on Mars to understand it in a very better way. So, for that, do subscribe and we'll see you next week. All the best for this week. 28th September onwards, astrology classes. Rohit ji starting in Hindi. The number is on the screen. All the best. Scorpio. Moon is entering into Pisces, Rohitji here. Now, if you look at Moon, the Lord of the ninth house sitting ninth from itself must bring lot of blessings. But sometimes, because it is with Saturn, your creativity becomes a little bit poisonous. Sometimes in this situation, creativity should not be, should be done. You should never avoid this, but because of Saturn, try to take more practical approach rather than emotional approach. Emotionally, things may work out in front of you, but practically, when you apply the practice, it may create some challenges. So be very careful about it. Later, you will see that Moon is in the fifth house of your children, of your speculative gain. Also, don't play very big games when it comes to speculation. It may create some ups and downs in the area related to your speculative gains. Moon enters into Aries now here, getting into the sixth house of your enemies, but here also ninth house Lord is in the sixth house. This means that win over judicial system. Those who are in very court cases and they're having some date here, they may find absolute win during this time. So such a beautiful time for you to conquer your enemies. And in a hidden way also, I know it is not that great and ethical, but sometimes that is the need of the hour. Mars is putting an aspect on this house in its own sign. This means that you have to use tricks and hidden ways to conquer your enemies, even the enemies in the workplace. You may be able to overpower them. But Moon in this house, especially a fire sign, can create a little bit of challenge related to the health. Acid refluxes, problem in the stomach. These are the things that can happen, which you have to be extra careful about this week. Later, Moon gets into beautiful, exalted seventh house. Those who are in the love area, love relationship, you will see that that is prospering. That is new love bonding relationships are happening. In fact, those who are thinking of signing any contracts, it is Pitra Paksh going on. We don't want to do it right away, but we can start, figuring out that, okay, this is where I will sign the contract in the next 5-7 days and make a deal right now and do it after 21st of 22nd of September. But great time for new collaborations, new partnerships, new talking only, not signing auspicious things after 22nd of September. This is the time that ninth house Lord in the seventh house means that if your destiny is not supporting you related to your relationships and partnership, this is the time that it will support you with, after breaking all the norms of of you know of logic. You don't know where it will come from, the blessing, but it will come for you in the area related to your partnership and relationships. All the best. Mars enters into Libra here. Lagna Lord in the 12th house. Get ready, Scorpio ascendant people, pack your bags, because there is possibility of travel that you're doing or must have planned in the past. Now this is the time to commence that travel. But because this 8th house Lord, 6th house Lord is in the 12th house, makes a Viprit Raj Yoga and puts an aspect here on the 6th house. Get ready. Your enemies should get ready, because there is a very, very bad time to them. They will not be able to conquer anything. You will be in such a powerful situation. position that you will be able to conquer all your enemies. Those who are having workplace problem, those who are having problem related to siblings or friends, those who have turned against you, those who have problem related to even partners or relationship area where people are trying to give you a hard time, you will have dominance over everyone. Lot of things related to Mars will come in the video related to Mars that we are doing, because see, this is a transit in this week, but it is a very big transit which can create lot of impact in your life, because this is the year of Mars, man. Mars is going to the 12th house, so some challenges can also happen. We have to be very careful and take things, navigate very nicely. For that, subscribe, because the new video I'll be making and posting, which will give you more clear ideas about this transit. All the best and see you next week. 20th September onwards, we will see astrology classes Rohit is doing, and that is the class that is in Hindi. So the number is on the screen. All the best and join ASAP. Sagittarius, Moon enters into Pisces. Now here, Moon is the lord of the 8th house, going exactly into the 4th house. Property related matters may have some rift, some fights during this time. Maybe just a small fight over, let's keep this vase here, not here. Your husband will say no here, your wife will say no here. There can be some kind of misunderstanding in just such small things as well. So be very careful. See, the moon has just come out of the eclipse energy, so it is still recovering. I know moon is a very fast recoverer, and emotions, that's why, comes very fast, goes very fast, because moon is so amazing in managing the emotions. But coming with Saturn always tells, take practical approach, take practical approach. And here the practical approach will be that be very calm emotionally, don't outburst yourself, don't try to create a scene around in the house and stuff like that. Those who are working from home may also feel a little bit of extra overwhelmed during this time, so try to do chanting of Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, and give moon extreme strength. Moon enters into Aries now. When Moon enters into Aries, the 8th house and the 5th house are making a combination. This means some kind of gains related to your stock and share market, some benefit to the children, and from the children it's also happening. And your love life now takes a very emotional turn, and you get support of your loved ones. So it is a beautiful time for you. So you should take very good interest. Also, because the 5th house is the house of creativity, you will see that in research you will be extremely creative, and some big breakthroughs you can do. So those who are in research field will have a very, very great time during this period. In teaching, education field, very beautiful. Moon enters into the sign of Taurus here, makes a exalted point, and also makes a Vipreet Raj Yog. This is again a powerful position of Moon, but this is a Dushtana. And Moon is a lord of another Dushtana. That means health problems may come, or the health problems that have been going from a very long time, now you will find a solution for it. Foreign travel can happen because Moon is putting an aspect on the 12th house. So foreign travel can happen suddenly because of workplace, which will not be so comfortable. Maybe it's the birthday of your child, and you are said by your by your office that no, go to this place right now, we have a meeting there. So that kind of discomfort can happen. So discomfort is happening not for a very bad reason, but sometimes because of work and etc, we have to sacrifice a lot of things. I remember, Rohiji, my daughter in her kindergarten, first time, she was supposed to be going into some play. She was first play of her life, but I had to go to Spain. I had no choice. My office had sent me to Spain, and I had to go. And I missed her first play ever, where she was becoming a tree. So, so somehow such Vipreet conditions, right, where things are good, you're going to Spain because your professional elevation is happening, but you miss on one very big memory, is what is the period that is going on for all the people right now. Good time for health recovery, so all the best. Mars enters into the sign of Libra. Now here, if you look at Mars is the lord of the 5th house going to the 11th house. So gains from your portfolio. Your portfolio is going to grow green now during this time. Very beautiful. Mars is putting also an exalted aspect of the 2nd house. That means monetary wise, money gain is superb during this time. Beautiful. What a beautiful placement of Mars for you, that can't even imagine. Now here, Mars rules the 12th house. Sometimes you gain from foreign country, or sometimes you gain from hidden enemies. This is the best part of Mars in the 11th house. Hidden enemies are trying to make you trouble you, but suddenly they will do some such mistake that you will gain from them. Such a beautiful time. Only one problem, because this is sixth from the sixth, the 11th house, health wise, especially muscles, leg muscles, getting cramps in the legs, getting sudden twist in the leg is possible, because Mars will soon go into the 12th house. And that way, before that, it will do some problems which may take some time of recovery. So be very careful. Great time for your children also. Fifth house Lord in the 11th house, gains to children. So if you had children are studying and all, you will see that suddenly what has happened to you? How come you're studying so much? This is the kind of attitude that they will show. So all the very best for Mars. We'll be making a very big video to understand Mars in a very deeper sense with the nakshatra transits as well, which will give us more ideas about how to navigate this dasha, because this is the year of Mars. Mars transit will make every impact on everyone's lives. Okay, all the best, and see you next week with more positive and good news, but some challenging situation which I will let you know so that you can navigate your life in a very better way. 20th of September onwards, Rohiji is starting the beautiful astrology classes. For that, everyone is welcome. It's in Hindi, so make your reservations or bookings right now. Capricorn. Now, Rohiji here, if you see Moon is entering into the sign of Pisces. Now, Moon is the lord of the seventh house. It's a Maraka going into the third house. Not a great time for your communication and speech, especially with your siblings. There can be some emotional battle. Avoid such situations. Every emotional battle should be avoided here. Thirdly, Moon and Saturn are coming together. This can create some challenges that is related to your, what you say, related to your practical and emotional decision. So if the decision is related to short distance travel, you will have to choose practical over emotional, because this is what happens when Moon and Saturn are together. Saturn always wins. This is a clear indication of Lagna Lord being in power. Saturn will always win with before Moon. If this was the sign of Cancer, then Moon will always win before Saturn. So try to take more of practical approach rather than emotional approach in your communication areas. Even in short distance travel with your siblings, with your friends, always practical approach. Otherwise, it will be a challenge. Later, Moon will enter into the Kendra, the 10th house Lord, so 7th house Lord, 10th from itself in the Kendra. Some karma related to your relationships, some karma related to your home and home life, family life will be happening, which will be very auspicious for you. Now, here, Moon is receiving the 8th aspect of Mars. Mars is in very higher degree. Very soon, in next 2 days, Mars is going to enter into the sign of Libra, where it will again put an impact on the Moon, continuously impact on the Moon. So this means that Moon has lot of power here. In the fourth house, when we look at this house, Moon has a lot of directional strength. So Moon is going to be very powerful for Capricorn ascendant people. If real estate or home is the area that they're focusing, very great time for you. Emotionally also, emotional support, blessings from mother, blessings, or you can do something for your mother is going to happen during this time. So all the very best. Later, Moon will enter into Taurus. Now, this is the sign that is related to your creativity, your children. Some very great news from children to children will come from you. If you're in education right now, education wise, you will see elevation in education field. In fact, speculative gain. See, seventh house Lord, 11th from itself, some great speculative gain from partnerships. Sometimes in this situation where Moon is in the fifth house, there can be positive income opportunities coming from your creative pursuits, coming from education. So very beautiful time, because this is the house of share and stock market. You will see growth in that area as well. But because it is putting an debilitated aspect on the 11th house, be very careful when it comes to social setting. In social media, speak accordingly. Don't go overboard. Otherwise, this may create a little bit of challenge for all the people. Thank you. Moving on. Mars is going to be entering into Libra. Now here again Mars put a eighth aspect on Moon, so suddenly some gains may come from your children, may come from creative aspects. And because Moon is in the fifth house, one point I missed, that is related to romantic life. Seventh house Lord, your romance may now become very official. You may make it permanent, or those who are single may find someone during this beautiful time. Make the best of it. Now, Kendra Lord, Mars is in Kendra, aspecting the ascendant with an exalted aspect, aspecting the fourth house, aspecting the fifth house. That means major areas of this karma pattern is now ruled by Mars for you. The lord of this ascendant is retrograde, so Mars has taken over the Kendra, looking at three Kendra houses and keeping such a strong hold. That means career wise there is prosperity, your personality improves, there is growth in real estate, and there is a lot of power related to children, given to children, and you make the right decisions related to your children, and your children make the right decision related to their life pattern. So such powerful placement of moon. That is why in Capricorn moon becomes exalted, because see, if it comes in the Kendra by any chance, it dominates the full of Kendra. That is how powerful Mars is in this chart. So such an amazing transit. Only thing that if only thing that's also a good thing, if people in the social area, social circle, are trying to bring you down, are trying to create, be against you, Mars will completely destroy them, because it is in 12th from itself. That means it will give losses to the people who are trying to create loss for you. So be very extremely powerful. Great time for all the Capricorn ascendant people. For Mars, we are going to be doing another video. For that, do subscribe. We will come and make it, and we will enjoy that. All the best and a great week. Next week, let's meet again. For that, subscribe. 28th September, Rohiji starting beautiful astrology classes. For this also, everyone is welcome. All the best. Aquarius rising. Now, Moon is entering into the sign of Pisces. Moon is the lord of the sixth house, going to the second house. And here with Saturn, sometimes if you're applying for a debt and loan, and this time this is not going to work for you, it may delay. There may be challenges. Sometimes in the family wise, if enmity is there, it can elevate during this time because of Saturn. And Moon has just come out of an eclipse in the second house. So some things may elevate in the family life. So be quiet. The more you speak, the more problem will be there. You will be speaking emotionally, but this time says to you to speak practically. Practically, you may not have the right vision during the beginning of the week. So be silent. Let mood enter into the sign of Aries. Then we will talk about, some communication. Communication will a little bit of ease down for you. Now, what happens here is that second house is also the house of wealth and wealth accumulation. During this time, accumulation of wealth should be done, but investment should be not done on a very, very larger scale. That is my suggestion. Later, Moon will enter into the third house. Now, this is the time now open up for communication, because it is away from Saturn. It can create, now you should be very open about your communication. Say what you are feeling, how you are feeling, what you expect, what you don't expect. If there is any short distance travel that you want to do, this is going to be favorable for you. If there is anything that has to do with more of putting effort with emotions, that is also going to be fruitful for you. So sometimes few days we have to avoid, and after that we can do something. So that is exactly this day to take action, show courage. Moon then enters into exaltation. That means whatever you have done in the past, this is now going to result into happiness and inner peace for you. So, such a beautiful thing. Sixth house Lord in the fourth house. Now apply for loan. Now apply for debt. It will work for you. Now apply for some property related stuff. It will work for you. Now apply for some career related stuff that will work for you. So, this is how happens when Moon comes into power. It will be showing everyone emotionally, practically, everyone will start working towards your benefit only. If you're going through Moon Mahadasha Antardasha, then this is a very beautiful time. But the only problem here is the layer of Pitra Paksh. So, not a very beautiful time to buy new property, but to plan new property. Why not? Plan is good. Take the blessings of your Pitras. Fourth house is also the roots. And if you are, unfortunately, if your mother is no longer here because of and some reasons, so now this is the time to do donations related to your mother, because Moon is in the house of your mother, exalted. So do donations related to mother, take her blessings from the afterlife. She will give you great blessings and move forward with positivity. It's a very, very nice time. Mars, on the other hand, enters into Libra. Now, third house Lord, exactly in the ninth house. That means some blessings is coming when you do short distance travel. On your career, biggest problem that you are facing will now end, because Mars is very powerful in the ninth house. Mars is some communication, some effort that you were not able to show, or not getting that opportunity to show, you will be able to show here. Because when Mars comes to the 10th house, before coming to the 10th house, it will start building up the power through your destiny in your career, so that once Mars reaches the 10th house, it achieves everything it is what is desired. Ninth house is also the house that is related to your father. Some argument with father can happen because Mars is a malefic planet, so you have to remember Mars can create some problems. But because ninth house is there, you have to be generous towards your father and guru. Don't try to overpower them. Whatever they are saying, just listen right now because it is coming from the ear, from the mouth of God right now. Also, because Mars is looking at the 12th house, you can to travel to a foreign country, or there can be sudden travels that is coming up. Mars is also going to make sure that, if big losses are supposed to happen, it will control that big losses for you. And because it is looking at the third house in the fourth house, and with to moon also in the fourth house, it can create some opportunities in real estate. But I suggest after 22nd of September is when you should enter into the real estate sector, not before that, because before that it's not great energy. Okay, for this Mars we're going to make a very big video to understand Mars point by point, nakshatra by nakshatra. So do subscribe so that you can be recipient that time and chill and relax and listen to us. All the best. Take care. And Rohit is starting the classes from 20th of September. The number is on the screen. All the best. It's in Hindi. Pisces. When we talk about Pisces here, Moon is entering into Pisces only. And with Saturn, it's a very heavy energy of a planet who's the lord of creativity, but still in Kendra. That means Moon gets here a lot of power. See, Moon gets the powerful planet here in the Kendras are Jupiter and Mercury. Moon is a friend of Jupiter. Moon is a neutral with Mercury. Moon has no enemies. So Moon says, I have very much power here in the first house. So it will overpower Saturn and take energy here for itself because it is the Kendra Lord. Oh, sorry, Trikona Lord, and it's the most auspicious planet for Pisces ascendant people. So Moon is taking more power. So emotionally, your power will be higher. But because Saturn is here and Saturn is in retrogression, it is time to take practical decisions also, not only emotional decisions. Emotional decisions can make you win right now, but in the longer run, it can create losses for you. So make practical decisions. Either it has to be taken in a practical way. Emotion should be there, but practical is number one first. I'll give you an example. There is an employee you are working with and he is not performing very well, but he is not willing to improve also. And now he is into a situation where his wife is pregnant. Now the practical decision here is that wife is pregnant, is not willing to perform, let him give some few more chances so that at least his personal life does not get hampered during this time. That is a practical approach. Emotional approach will be, what the hell, you're not performing, go out, I throw you out of this company. That is a emotional approach, that you are working with your emotional level. Now there is a practical approach that he has something to take care of, and I right now can take care of him and make him give him other chances. If then it does not happen, then throw them out. That is practical and emotional approach. Later Moon will enter into the second house. Now here, when we go to the second house, especially the fifth house lord in the second house, some wealth, money. Pisces ascendant people are making some good money this year. And this time, second house, some kind of wealth, either from family, either from your children if you're expecting something, either from a property if you're expecting something, either from your share and stock market, your portfolio goes up because the fifth house lord is the second house. You will see great income opportunities, as well as it's a great time for investments as well, because after that Moon is going into exaltation into the third house. Now Moon into exaltation in the third house can create three beautiful things. Number one, travel, short distance travel, very good relationship with your siblings and friends. In your social, very very immediate social circle, you may find very great support, and that support will be very very, what do I say, it can say, you can say overwhelming only. You will see that, oh my god, so many people support me. This is the time to actually communicate and negotiate. Very great time for negotiating. So wherever you want to negotiate, negotiate after 12th of September. Now Mars, Mangal Devta, is going into the 8th house. 8th house is a Dushtana where malefics perform better than benefics. Now here, malefic, Mars is a malefic. 8th house, the number one thing that it will do is that it will give you very great standing in your social circle, only because of the research ability that you will have. Because Mars coming here will make sure that those people who are trying to trouble in your destiny, trying to trouble in your higher education, trying to trouble, demotivating you, you will be very powerful against them. Mars is looking at the second house direct in its own sign. That means your wealth, your net worth goes up. and also looking at the third house with the eighth aspect, that means your effort are very, very extremely powerful after this Mars transit. So it is a very good time to do research, to get into, even get into occult sciences, get into Mahavidya Upasana. Such a beautiful time for all the Pisces ascendant people. For this Mars video, we'll be making a big video so that you can get more idea about it, how it is going to react, what are the nakshatras it is transiting, how Swati nakshatra and Mars will react, Rahu's nakshatra, right? So for that, do subscribe. Mars is now receiving absolute aspect of what do you say, Jupiter also. Just imagine Mars receiving such powerful aspect of Jupiter in the eighth house. You are going to rock this time. So get ready for that video. We'll be posting it after this. All the best. Thank you. Rohit starting the beautiful astrology course from 20th of September. Join this in Hindi. And thank you so much for your time, for your support, for your love. Thank you, Rohit for your support as well. All the best.
Thank you, Akashji. Thank you very much. You are in hurry, I know. Your consultations are waiting for you. Thank you very much. Go ahead with that, and we'll meet you in some next video. Till then, Jai Shri Ram.
Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Mata Di, Jai Ma Lakshmi. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya.